Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. Tonight I wanted to talk to you about another really old Bigfoot encounter. This one takes place in World War II, and it was written in the book The Long Walk by Sławomir Rawicz. I think that's how you pronounce his name, I'm not sure. He's a Polish fella, or was a Polish fella. Back in the Second World War, he was captured by the Russians and accused of being a Polish spy. And he was sent to a camp in Siberia where he and a bunch of other guys escaped and tried to make their way down through like Mongolia, through the Himalayas, and into India. And they are successful in the end. But on the second last chapter of the book, really far into the book, they're in the Himalayas, and he goes over like an encounter with these Sasquatch creatures, or I guess you'd call them Yeti because they're in the Himalayas, I don't know. The chapter's titled Strange Creatures. But it's very interesting. This is again before Bigfoot was super popular, like before the 50s and the 60s. I just want to read a passage kind of going over the encounter. It says here, in all our wanderings through the Himalayan region, we had encountered no other creatures than man, dogs, and sheep. It was with quickening interest, therefore, that in the early stages of our descent of the last mountain drew our attention to two moving black specks against the snow about a quarter of a mile below us. We thought of animals and immediately of food, but as we set off down to investigate, we had no great hopes that they would await our arrival. The contours of the mountain temporarily hid them from our view as we approached nearer. But when we halted on the edge of a bluff, we found they were still there, 12 feet or so below us and about 100 yards away. 2 points struck me immediately. They were enormous, and they walked on their hind legs. They're trekking through the Himalayas, and they come across these two creatures, and he describes them here as walking on their hind legs and over 8 feet tall, and I guess one of them was a few inches taller than the other. He said it was obvious that they had spotted them, and they knew they were there. One of the gentlemen that was with them said, like, just wait a bit, eventually they'll drop onto all four legs, and they never did. These guys obviously didn't know what they were looking at. They had no idea what Sasquatch was. It says here, their faces I could not see in detail, but the heads were squarish, and the ears must lie close to the skull because there was no projection from the silhouette against the snow. The shoulders sloped sharply down to a powerful chest, the arms were long, and the wrists reached the level of the knees. Seen in profile, the back of the head was a straight line from the crown into the shoulders. We decided unanimously that we were examining a type of creature of which we had no previous experience in the wild, in zoos, or in literature. It would have been easy to have seen them waddle off at a distance and dismiss them as either a bear or big ape of the orangutan species. They appeared to be covered by two distinct kinds of hair. The reddish hair which gave them their characteristic color, forming a tight, close fur against the body, mingling with which were long, loose, straight hairs hanging downwards, which had a slight grayish tinge as the light caught them. It says they were observing them for about an hour, which is a very, very long time to be like having an encounter with a Sasquatch. Usually it's just like over before you can pull your camera out, but anyways, the creatures basically just stayed there, and they ended up moving around them. Now, obviously, like, this account was written after the fact, so he could really just throw whatever he wants into this book to make it more interesting. It's an incredibly short chapter of the book, though. I don't know why, like, he would just make that up, but also I should state the fact that these guys had fled, like, a work camp, and they had trekked through the Himalayas, through Mongolia, and they were starving and like probably incredibly dehydrated. So I'm sure it would be very, very easy to be hallucinating and to see pretty much anything. So it's an interesting story, but like it's hard to, determine the truth of it because of the circumstances. Like it would be incredibly easy to start seeing things when you're in that physical state and mental state, but also with something that's written after the fact like this, it's very easy to like manipulate the facts, just to make it seem more interesting. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's an interesting story. I myself like the older ones, as you all know. But I didn't really know about it until I actually got this book, because I'm kind of a World War II buff, and that's why I bought the book. And it was kind of a little surprise to find that there was a Bigfoot encounter in it. So I thought I'd share that with you. If you guys are near any bookstores and need something to, you know, pass your time, if you have nothing to do in your spare time, I recommend buying this book. Not just for the Bigfoot stuff, but because it's just an interesting read and it's an amazing story. Hopefully it's all true, but, you know, I can't say. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for all the great support and nice comments, and, you know, the bad comments are always welcome as well. I try my best to read everything and to respond to people, but it's been getting harder and harder lately because there's been more and more comments, but I try my best. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.